Joining us tonight, Fox News legal analyst Gregg Jarrett. He's author of the soon-to-be-released book, The Russia Hoax, the illicit scheme to clear Hillary Clinton and frame Donald Trump. Great to see you. And
good to be here, Lou.
Congratulations on the book.
Thank you.
Recommend it highly to everyone watching this broadcast.
Thank you.
And within the sound of my voice. Let's turn to the developments over the weekend, in which people are looking at the House report and suddenly finding all sorts of material. And I want to give a shout out to theconservativetreehouse.com. They have done an amazing job of chronicling, cataloging the content. Just a terrific job, and I urge everyone who stays up with this story to take advantage of it. The idea that McCabe knew even more than we thought, right, and had a relationship that was under considerable strain, apparently, with the Southern District of New York. Right. And suddenly the Abedin laptop is back in play, along with the Anthony Weiner laptop, and hundreds of thousands of emails are at play among various power centers within the Department of Justice.
McCabe only recused himself from the Hillary Clinton case just before the election, when it was too late. The damage he wrought had already been done. For example, he sat on the Abedin, Anthony Weiner, hundreds of thousands of emails, many of which were classified. He sat on it for the better part of a month. Why? Probably to protect Hillary Clinton just before the election. Didn't work for him. At the very end, Comey found out about it and then made it public. Comey now appears to be covering up for McCabe. Bret Baier, you saw the interview last Thursday night. The most nonsensical, rambling answer that is defied and belied by all known facts.
Yeah, but we're getting used to that, aren't we, from James Comey? Because he is sort of in an alternate universe. It's hard to imagine he was actually running the FBI. He seems more like a Trappist monk of some sort, lost in the most abstract considerations rather than running a counterintelligence and law enforcement agency.
In the world of James Comey, everything is perversely upside down and inverted. I mean, this is a guy who still insists that the memos he stole from the FBI were his personal property. The law says otherwise. He insists there was no classified information. The FBI says otherwise, and in fact, they had to seize documents to contain his leak. I mean, this is a guy who doesn't seem to understand his own role as the head of the FBI. Among his first duties should have been to determine who paid for the dossier. Now you listen to him on television and he says, oh, well, I don't really, to this day, I don't really know who paid for it. How in the world could he not to this day know that Hillary Clinton and the DNC paid for it?
I can't forgive him for not knowing, or at least pretending not to know. Because he's in a hell of a mess. He looks like he could be charged with a number of crimes. But at the same time, Loretta Lynch plays an ever larger role as more is revealed here. Her role in the Department of Justice as Attorney General, her role vis-a-vis the Southern District, Preet Bharara, the U.S. Attorney at the time leading into the election. I mean, they're sitting on mounds of important documents and evidence, again, of crimes committed by a number of parties that doesn't see the light of day.
This was an elaborate cover-up and a protection scheme to clear Hillary Clinton, as my book says, and to frame Donald Trump for things he didn't do. They launched an investigation without any evidence of a crime. They launched a counterintelligence probe without any intelligence. They did it because they sought to bring down Donald Trump's candidacy and, if elected, to destroy his presidency. And you know what? To some extent, they've been quite successful in sowing discord. And they had a complicit media all along the way helping them.
Yeah, complicit. The fact of the matter is, the national left-wing media, which is 95% of the media, as I say here quite often, they're going to have quite an atonement in history, because what they have become in this country is sordid and sad and truly deleterious to the nation.
In my book, I detail all the times that anchors and
That's 2 references to your book. Right?
Is that the limit?
No.
But all the times they went on the air and said, this is collusion as if it were a crime. There is no such thing as collusion except in antitrust law. But they found the president guilty in the court of public opinion day in and day out.
Gregg Jarrett, and the book is that he was referring to twice there. The book is The Russia Hoax, the illicit scheme to clear Hillary Clinton and frame Donald Trump. Can't wait. Thanks for being here, Greg.
My pleasure.